The glass elevator hummed as it rose past the Manhattan skyline, bathed in morning sunlight. From inside, Declan Rowe adjusted his cuffs, checked his reflection, and exhaled sharply. The day had barely begun, yet pressure already throbbed in his temples. Lexington and Granger's latest app had flopped in beta testing, investors were circling like sharks, and board members were murmuring doubts. He stepped out onto the 43rd floor, the executive floor. All around him, assistants scrambled, phones rang, and slideshows were rehearsed. Declan didn't stop for anyone. Except someone did stop for him. Or rather, he walked into someone. An old man. Bent slightly, wheeling a mop bucket, wiping sweat from his brow. A splash. A crash. Red juice exploded across Declan's pristine shirt and tie. For a moment, everything was silent. Then, Declan looked down. And then up. At Eli Harris. The janitor. The same janitor he'd passed by for years without ever noticing. Declan's nostrils flared. His voice cut through the hallway, "Are you kidding me? I'm sorry, sir. I didn't see you coming. Let me just..." Before Eli could finish, Declan poured the remaining juice in the cup, directly onto Eli's chest. "You should have retired 10 years ago," Declan snapped. "You're in everyone's way." A stunned silence followed. Assistants stared. Executives froze. Someone dropped their pen. Eli stood still, his uniform soaked in red. His face didn't contort in anger. He just lowered his eyes, reached into his back pocket, and began wiping the floor, again. No one helped. No one spoke. Eli finished mopping in silence, changed his shirt in the basement locker room, and returned to his work as if nothing had happened. But inside, he felt it. He had survived greater humiliations in life. Losing his wife to cancer. Losing his daughter to an uninsured hospital room. But somehow, this moment felt like a final blow. Later that night, long after everyone had left, Eli sat in the janitor's closet, holding a photo of Alina, his daughter. "You'd tell me to forgive, wouldn't you?" he whispered, voice trembling. Even now. Tears streamed down his cheeks, falling quietly on his calloused hands. He didn't know that upstairs, someone had seen everything. Rebecca Klein, a quiet marketing associate, had paused that day near the hallway. She had seen the entire incident. And what's more, she had access to the internal camera footage. She downloaded it. Sat with it all night. And the next morning, she anonymously uploaded it to the company's internal social platform. No hashtags. No description. Just, "This is who we've become." It exploded. Within 3 hours, the entire company had seen it. By noon, the video leaked online. Hashtag Justice for Eli trended on Twitter. Reddit threads titled "CEO Bullies Janitor," and "Janitor Responds with Dignity" racked up thousands of comments. People shared stories about their parents who worked similar jobs. And something shifted. The board summoned Declan. He arrived with confidence, still believing this would blow over. "It's exaggerated," he shrugged. "The guy bumped into me. He wasn't even looking." But for once, no one in the room nodded. "He's not just the guy," Simone said. "That's Eli Harris. He's worked here for 12 years. Never late. Never complains. Lost his daughter 3 years ago and still showed up the next day." Another board member added, "Do you know his story? Do you know anyone's story besides your own?" Declan shifted in his chair. They suspended him pending review. But deep down, Declan knew something bigger had broken, his own image of himself. 3 days passed. Declan couldn't sleep. He kept thinking about Eli's eyes, not the juice, not the backlash, just those eyes. So he returned. Not as the CEO, not in a suit. Just jeans and a hoodie. He found the janitor's storage room. He knocked. Eli was organizing cleaning supplies, soft jazz playing from a tiny radio. When he turned around and saw Declan, his hands paused. Declan held out a small coffee cup. Hazelnut. Eli raised an eyebrow. I heard you mention it once, in the break room, years ago. Eli hesitated. Then accepted the cup. Declan took a breath. I'm not here to save face. I'm here because I realized I've never really seen you. Or anyone like you. All these years, I've been walking past people like furniture. Like noise. Eli leaned back against the sink. Declan continued. You should have yelled at me. You didn't. You took it. Why? The old man looked at him. Calm. Still. Because, Eli said slowly, I've spent my life learning that not every battle is worth fighting out loud. Dignity doesn't come from how others treat you. It comes from how you respond. Silence. Declan swallowed the lump in his throat. Can you forgive me? Eli gave the slightest nod. If you truly mean to change, yes. A week later, the entire company gathered for what they thought was a quarterly meeting. But instead, Eli Harris stepped onto the stage. He was wearing a new suit. His mop was gone. Declan stood beside him. Ladies and gentlemen, Declan began, we've made some serious mistakes, not just me, but all of us. We've created a culture where titles mean more than kindness. That ends today. The room fell into stunned silence. Eli Harris is now our head of human dignity and employee advocacy. Every voice matters here now. And starting today, we'll ensure that no one, is invisible. Thunderous applause. But Declan wasn't finished. He took a deep breath. We're also launching the Alina Initiative, named after Eli's late daughter. The foundation will offer college scholarships to children of support staff, janitors, cafeteria workers, receptionists, people without whom this company couldn't function. Eli gripped the podium, speechless. Then he said softly, Alina wanted to be a nurse. She never made it. Maybe now, someone else will. In the months that followed, Declan spent every Friday shadowing different departments, from the mailroom to the kitchen. Executives were required to join quarterly, walk in their shoes, days, working janitorial shifts, manning phones, delivering mail. Employees shared stories about family struggles, financial burdens, and were met with help instead of judgment. Eli launched an internal storytelling project, Behind the Badge, sharing the lives of each employee in the weekly newsletter. One entry read, I'm not just a janitor. I'm a grandfather. I survived Vietnam. I play harmonica on weekends. I lost a daughter. But I wake up every day hoping I can still make someone's life better. Eli Harris. 2 years later, Declan gave a TEDx talk titled, The Day I Poured Juice and Drenched My Soul. In it, he recounted the moment that changed his life. Not because of a viral video. But because one man chose grace over rage. The video received over 12 million views. One quiet evening, Declan joined Eli on the rooftop. They watched the city sparkle below. Declan sipped his hazelnut coffee. Still can't believe it only took juice. Eli laughed gently. It wasn't the juice. Declan smiled. What was it, then? Eli looked at him and said, It was what you did after. That's what people remember. The two men, once divided by status, now united in respect, sat in silence, watching the lights of a city that had begun to learn the meaning of true humanity. In a world obsessed with titles and power, it takes humility to lead, and dignity to truly live. Sometimes, it's the people we overlook who teach us the biggest lessons. And sometimes, the greatest strength is found in quiet kindness.